When you plant corn in wide rows and weave vegetable crops between those stalks, each plant finds its own niche while sharing sun, water, and soil nutrients. Start by laying out your corn in paired rows spaced about 80 centimeters apart. Between each pair of corn rows, sow fast-maturing vegetables such as bush beans, squash, or pale green pechay. As the corn grows tall, its leaves cast dappled shade that cools the soil, slowing moisture loss and making a comfortable microclimate for the lower-growing vegetables. At planting time, drop corn seeds into evenly spaced hills at about 40 centimeters between seeds and 60 centimeters between hills. Once the corn is knee-high, usually 4 to 5 weeks after sowing, create shallow furrows every 30 centimeters in the spaces between the paired rows. In those furrows, sow seeds of your vegetable choice. Beans, for instance, fix nitrogen in the soil, giving back the very fertilizer that corn craves. Squash vines then wander beneath the corn's shadow, their broad leaves acting as living mulch that suppresses weeds and reduces soil erosion during heavy rains. As the corn tassels appear and tassel pollen drifts on the breeze, daily routines include checking bean blossoms and cucumber flowers for bee activity, ensuring pollination proceeds smoothly. If your garden has few pollinators, you can gently stroke a small brush across open blossoms in the morning to transfer pollen from one flower to another. Meanwhile, peas or string beans growing alongside strawberries provide vertical interest and sham trellis supports, lifting the lower berries up where air circulates more freely and reduces rot. Watering follows the soak and wait principle, deep, infrequent irrigation that reaches the deeper corn roots and encourages vegetables to develop resilient root systems. A single watering session weekly may suffice in early growth, but as dates warm and crops compete, aim for moist soil a few centimeters below the surface. Mulching around vegetable stems with rice straw or dried leaves keeps those roots cool and deters surface weeds without hindering beneficial insects. When the first ears of corn swell, usually 2 to 3 months in, the beans and squash will be near harvest size. Pick green beans every other morning so that vines continue flowering and investing in new pods, while squash blossoms yield tender fruit when picked before noon. This staggered harvest ensures steady returns and helps you see when to thin or replant between the still maturing corn stalks. If a vegetable patch thins out early, follow up immediately with a fast-growing crop such as lettuce or arugula to keep the soil covered and productive. By the time corn kernels begin to harden, your vegetables may be winding down. Remove spent vines and leaves, chop them into small pieces, and fold the organic matter into the soil where your next round of corn will grow. In this way, you return nutrients to the land and maintain soil structure without relying on external fertilizers. Through thoughtful pairing, planting nitrogen-fixing beans between rows, training squash to fill empty ground, and timing vegetable sowing to match corn growth, you create a living tapestry that yields more on each square meter than if you had planted alone. Season after season, this intercropping dance enriches soil, conserves water, and spreads your work across weeks instead of days, giving each crop room to thrive and each harvest a reason to celebrate.